Texas State Park right here in your own county. And I guess you guys probably share 2 counties, 3 counties?
3 counties.
So it's
mostly Denton.
So everything that you wanted to ask about the state park that you were too afraid to ask, Robbie Merritt's going to fill this in. Robbie Merrit.
Hey, Tim. Yeah, appreciate the chance to come chat with y'all this morning. My name's Robbie Merrit. I'm not a game warden. No, I look like one. You won't find me on the Lone Star Law TV show. We were talking about don't have a face for television, so I'm not there. And I'm a park ranger. It's kind of the simple term we use, but there's a lot of different ways to be a park ranger. We'll talk about it a bit, not just being a police officer. I'm kind of a hybrid role. I'm the park superintendent at Ray Roberts Lake State Park. It's my main function, but I just happen to be a park police officer too. It used to be we didn't have enough money to do both, so they said, "Hey, could you do all these jobs for low salary?" Yeah, and so get a jack of all trades, master of none. That's kind of what I am. But the department's kind of moved away from that now. So dinosaurs like me are dying off. Now you're either park police or you're park manager. So that's kind of how we have it structured now. See if I can figure this thing out.
Push down to go.
Down. There we go. A little about me, more of my ugly bugbear. I'm a North Carolina native. Got to Texas as fast as I could. Went to Stephen F. Austin State University. Started off in the outdoor recreation field in the private camping industry, and working for the Methodist Church in Arkansas and Texas, and eventually jumped into state parks with Parks and Wildlife in South Texas, in places like Goliad, Corpus Christi, Goose Island, those kind of things. Been up here in North Texas for about 3 years now at Ray Roberts Lake. So my wife and I have done about a decade in East Texas, about a decade in South Texas, and we're working on the same up here. Want to give y'all kind of a quick and dirty overview of who we are in state parks, and most specifically your state park up here at Ray Roberts. And I'm going to try to breeze through this really quick so we have time for some questions on the end and get you on to your day. And so we'll go with that. Ray Roberts Lake is kind of owned and operated by a number of different entities. If you don't know, we're kind of an alphabet soup of governments. It's all federal land owned by the Corps of Engineers around the lake, leased to the cities of Dallas and Denton jointly, and then they have a park management contract with Texas Parks and Wildlife to run the state parks because they don't want to. So that's how we have gotten into the equation. And this is kind of how we're set up here. There we go. So we've got 9 different park units around Ray Roberts. It's what we call a complex. We've got Johnson Branch on the north side and Isle du Bois on the south side, and those are what you would typically consider a normal state park. They look like a state park. They feel like a state park. They have your camping, your trails, swim areas, digging areas, that kind of thing. But we also operate numerous satellite boat ramps around the lake. We have some big concession operations that are run by businesses that contract with us. Jordan Park near College Point, there's a Lone Star Lodge, hotel and marina, building a marina there. And then on the west side is Lake Ray Roberts Marina, which used to be a 500 slip boat marina. Most of you know about the tornado event we had Memorial Day weekend and experienced it personally, so we've been recovering from that ever since. But we'll talk more about that later. And then that corridor coming down is the green belt that goes from the Ray Roberts Dam and sometimes comes all the way down to Denton at 380. We got a lot of flooding issues when we're in wet times there on the lower end. So if you drive by that park entrance on 380, you'll often see that it's closed up, and that's why we spent years where we just said, nope, we're not doing it because of the flooding, and now we kind of have a different management tactic where when it's dry, we get in there, clean up as much as we can, get it open for as long as we can. When it floods, we close it again. So that's why you see that kind of opening and closing as time goes along. Water is a book. It takes a lot of folks to run all that. We've got about 30 full-time park rangers. That's everybody from park police, park management, lots and lots of field and maintenance staff to manage all our facilities. We have our own utility plant operators to run our water and wastewater systems in the parks. We have administrative folks and customer service folks in the office to run our finances and help guide people into the park. And we have what we call internal space.
Is that all it's still tied to?
I don't think they call it that anymore, but it's the same thing. This is our state parks mission, and there's a lot of gobbledygook there, but to bring that up because this guides everything we do in Texas state parks across the state. If you go from state to state, this kind of varies a lot, but this is ours. And I just want to point out there's two big kind of spheres here. We manage the natural and cultural resources and conserve those, because normally there's something special about these places. That's why they're parks, where they're protected. But if that's the only part of our mission, we just fence it off, lock it away, and throw away the key, right? But we have this second part of our mission, which is to provide outdoor recreation experiences for folks and actually plug them in with those resources, hoping that they'll care about it as much as we do. But sometimes those two spheres of our mission come in conflict with each other. So obviously, you bring people onto a landscape, and things happen, right? We're fallible creatures, so we're constantly balancing that act between managing the resources and providing those outdoor recreation experiences. So we'll dive in a little bit on how we do that here at Ray Roberts. First off, resource stewardship. We manage several different ecotypes here in North Texas, especially around Denton and Ray Roberts. Does anybody know what Al de Bois means? It's our namesake for our big park up there.
That's a tree, isn't it?
You're right. It's a French for island of trees. Island of trees. And if you look at an aerial view of North Texas today, you're being hard pressed to find the island of trees because of all the development and agriculture. But if you were a settler or a native person in 1800s, you knew what the island of trees was. And they often called it the cast iron forest because it was a huge barrier in their path. Kind of a good map here. So if you look on the east, that's the Blackland Prairie. Then we have what we call the eastern cross timbers that came down from Oklahoma all the way to the northern hill country. And then there was the Grand Prairie to the west, and then the western cross timbers that provide rich forage and all that.
This cross timbers, I mean, that's always been confusing. Can you tell me what it means and where is it today?
Well, it's still here. It's just not as definitive as this, but this was a band of trees and forests. It was unlike the piney woods in East Texas, right? It's unlike some other forests. It's a mix of oak and elms and some other scrubby locust and other scrubby type of trees. So, we're in kind of an odd spot here, but for whatever reason, we have these different eco zones that popped up right here together. So we have Blackland Prairie, the cross timbers, the island of trees, as well as the Grand Prairie, all right here together. And so a lot of the set